Hello, it's colonixlady.com. We're going to be talking about colonics. Surprise! We're going to talk about history of uh, healthcare and how basic it always was and still is. And we're going to get into that. So, and thank you for joining me, Jesse, and thank you for joining. And I hope we could answer some questions and enlighten um, all of ourselves with the truth, more of the truth, so we can get where we need to be and happy and healthier. Go ahead, Jess.
Thank you. So, Lee, what is the difference between healthcare now and healthcare prior to 2000, to the year 2000, and what was the healthcare of old?
Okay, so um, there's a lot of history, and history is not on the internet. Okay, I'm talking about real history. Um, so just like the history of the country has been so annihilated. So everything that I have learned comes from let's say, 1950. And it's solid history stuff. Like, I just want to show some things. Like, I used to go to antique stores and um, get old books, and then I would have a printer reprint them and put them in one of these little packages. And then,
What does that say?
and what it says is how to reach the century mark. All the old books were about, it says, treatise on hygiene, diet, and health. It wasn't healthcare, it was hygiene. Hygiene was always the healthcare. That's first. If you can't clean and take care of your body outside and inside, well, that's what really prevents chronic situations. And I've done plenty of work to understand that to be true. It's always that. You can clean up a mess, whatever the diagnosis is from what you would call medical community. We just clean it up and people get very well. So we're not doing the preliminary, most necessary thing for ourselves. Like, if you don't brush your teeth, they're going to fall out. But if you're going to put heavy metals in your mouth, your teeth are going to fall out too. Only you're going to pay a lot of money and you're going to be ill all over your body. I know plenty of people that have false teeth that don't have the same problems as they grow old because they don't have heavy metals in that mouth. So they don't have all those problems that go with it. So, you just have to watch people over years. I mean, you can learn all this, but this book was great. And it says, treatise on hygiene, diet, and health, and plain facts for husbands and wives. See, it wasn't this jacked up woo-woo stuff. And it's from the American Puritists and Sanitary Company, Buffalo, New York, and Nashville, Tennessee. So, it's if you, I don't know what age you are, but they always did colon hygiene. Colon hygiene. I have people that come in from other countries that know exactly what I'm doing. They're like, I clean my own bowel in my own home. This is not anything weird to them. It's only to the Americans and the younger ones. I want to say even the people in the 60s. But we always did colon hygiene. People cleaned their bowels in the privacy of their own home. Always. That's what the enemas are about. It's the leftover colonic. They had hospitals, but they had very few hospitals in our country previous to the Industrial Revolution, because people didn't go to hospitals because they took care of their hygienes and they didn't really need hospitals. And if they did have a problem that they didn't feel they could take care of at home and they went to the hospital, they would be given colonics every day. And most of the time they left the hospital without what they thought they needed because they got better. So maybe they weren't doing cleaning their bowel at home. Maybe, like they could have been. I'm sure there were still people that were, I don't know, lazy. Like hygiene is a really interesting thing. It's like you can think about somebody's house. People like to live at different levels of cleanliness. Okay? If you want your house spotless, you're going to clean every week. If you want your house every 2 weeks, a month. Some people we know are hoarders and never clean. So that's the same principle and understanding that we would have to have for our bodies. Some people just take better care of themselves. It's not about exercising and eating, it's about what we take out of our bodies and we don't let it build up in our bodies. That makes all the sense. That we can show people within a 3-week period. It's what we're taking out of the body that they feel much better. We're not putting things down this part of the digestive tract. We leave that alone. Of course, you're eating. We have several supplements, but that's not how we're doing this. It's the amount and what garbage comes out the bottom that changes all that. So that's how they did it all along through history. And then when the Industrial Revolution came in, you know, they were killing each other over trains, uh, railroads, and everything. And it was all about money and greed. And they were just wanting to contribute technology. And I'm sure, some that was better, but we weren't supposed to get rid of the application of hygiene to have those new technologies. It's always hygiene, and they would come in um, as the specialty emergency situation. But hygiene is consistent and always necessary. So I just love some of this stuff in this book. And, there's plenty of things to research like this. Long Life, Chapter 1, How to Reach Old Age and Retain Your Faculties of Vigor. That doesn't seem to be a subject in our culture unless you get a tummy tuck, liposuction, and brand new teeth that are full of who knows what. Long life may not be a blessing or advantageous to all, especially if suffering from extreme poverty or sickness, but these results generally arise from our own carelessness and shiftlessness. That's interesting. Being like not doing anything about it is not observing the laws of nature, sanitary laws governing health, hygiene, and health, and the law of the laws, the 10 Commandments. Now, of course, we're saved by grace, but there's things in the Old Testament that just taught people how to live right. That's what I like about the Hebrews. Kosher. They just knew that you do things in a cleanly way, and that's the hygiene, and that's what's been lost. So, learn to know, obey the laws of nature. First, love God and obey His commandments. Second, learn to know yourself. That's a big one, and you're going to have to take that mask off if you want to do that. And third, obey the laws of nature. Nature is not worshiping God. If we obey the laws of nature and take care of ourselves, that is not idolatry. We're not worshiping our bodies and the creation more than God. So just knock that one out of there, people, because God gave us the body and it is our temple. And it is to be cleaned according to the word, not according to what we think. And by the way, that's why people can't hear when you're teaching the word, because their gut, which is their first brain, is full of trash and garbage and things, like it says in the Dead Sea Scrolls, remove all manner of disease out through the bowel, Beelzebub and his friends. Now you can say, well, that's Old Testament. I don't care. We have the same body. It needs to be stewarded the same way. And the renewed mind is much easier when you take all that stuff out. Okay, they were tapped in before. They weren't stupid. People want to think old time they were stupid. No, no, no. Much more wiser. The ancient what is that? The truth tablets. I don't care if they were in Egypt or not. That doesn't mean it was idolatry. They knew how to take care of themselves. And they honored their bodies. So we're and fourth, study and practice the laws of health, proper diet, dress, hygiene, dress. They had clothes on and no cracks were showing. And bathing and what is this? Diaphragmatic breathing.
Yeah.
Oh, is that yoga? Oh boy, geez. Interesting. Well, how many people are on oxygen machines in this country? Oh, that's right. Yeah, because my God, if you learned how to breathe and exercise and eat right, God forbid, Christians better wake up and knock it off because you're serving the systems of the world, medical over truth. You just better think about this. And sanitary laws and physical culture. Fifth, abstain from intoxicating beverages and many of the artificial waters, also strong coffee, teas, and tobacco. And we're hooked on alcohol, all kind of canned drinks. Why? Because they poisoned our water. There's no reason for us to have poisoned water. I don't know why they think we have better water than people across the ocean that we're putting wells in. But I'd like some of those people that are putting wells in over there to come in and put wells over here and watch and make sure we're getting clean water. We can do it for the needy. Well, we need it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, this stuff is like just simple. To overcome worry, mental trouble, bad temper, melancholy, and to succeed in your business, to rid yourself of constipation, blood trouble, asthma, and all kinds of nervous trouble and rheumatism. And practice the lessons of physical culture and observe the rules in bathing, diet, dress. It always went back to that, and so it should still, because I know, because it worked for me when God told me to clean my bowel. And by the way, he didn't tell me he was going to clean my bowel. He told me to clean my bowel because it's my responsibility. We sit and wait for God to heal us, but yet we all know we need to get up and on the other hand, we hear the teachings about you need to get up and get a job and work so you can, because that's what we need to do. We have to have a purpose and all that. But yet, when it comes to, we think we're disobeying God and committing idolatry if we heal ourselves. Nuh-uh. The word says we're supposed to get born again and come to an accurate knowledge of the truth. That means we can be taking the word all over the world like God is great. But what about the suffering they're doing after they get the word and during the word? Receiving the word and then learning the word. And you got to come to an accurate knowledge. And one pieces of that is stewardship of the temple. It's a big piece. It's the book of Ephesians. If God says that, okay, not everybody prays or speaks in tongues, but you're born again. But I love speaking in tongues. I'll speak in tongues all day. So if God said clean your bowel, why would I say, oh, I can't do that? That would be like saying I can't speak in tongues, God. Oh, can't speak in tongues. But I can speak in tongues, yes, I can. And I can clean my bowel, and I'm still in fellowship with God. And I'm not trying to hoodwink God or, be disrespectful. Like, I don't get all this. It's, we're still fighting over grace and the law. I'm not, but that's still what's going on. But this book, and there's plenty of books like this. And then I have this book. You're gonna love this. This is a hookworm magnified. I don't know how many times, but they're, if somebody's missing flesh, they hook it and eat your flesh. Some parasites eat your flesh, eat you, and other parasites eat what you're eating. And I've had so much experience with all kind of parasites. I've seen so many. I've delivered them from myself, from hundreds of clients. So this is just something we need to not be in denial about. I think we need another tape. I think I'm out of time.
That was fantastic.
Go ahead. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
We're not letting you off the hook. Okay?